What's up, guys? It's Tom from Chalking Fitness with what I'm going to call the first episode of a Chalking Fitness editorial. These videos are going to be hosted purely on YouTube, and what they are is they're an opportunity for me to talk more personally about some of the content, the podcasts, the reviews that I host predominantly on Instagram. That's at Chalking Fitness. The reason for doing that is that anyone that's been following the kind of the blog, the podcast, whatever you want to call it on predominantly Instagram, it started out as really as something that kind of kept me accountable with my training. I'm a hugely passionate about the lifestyle that surrounds kind of CrossFit and functional fitness, but also the community. And I don't just mean the community in like the box that you might train in, but equally the kind of shared values that you have with people around the world, around the country. So I've loved kind of like starting to reach out to people, whether it be through the podcast or fellow creators or just simply meeting people who have kind of seen the content that I've put out on Instagram and on the podcast more recently. So that's what this video is really looking to do. It's a chance for me to kind of talk more as Tom, really, definitely recognizing that as I put more and more content out, whether that be kind of reviews, news, who I am can sometimes get lost, which I'm okay with. But I think one of the important things to kind of like just highlight is that like Chalking Fitness remains purely me. I've got kind of like amazing people that kind of support me with what I'm trying to do. And don't get me wrong, I'm always open to kind of collaborations, but it's a kind of it's grown from, as I say, something that I was kind of really kind of like looking to kind of like capture and express my passion beyond like training kind of regularly in the gym. I wanted to kind of try and share that with other people and meet like-minded people, and I've been really fortunate that I've been able to kind of do all of those. So with this first episode, I just want to have a little look back at kind of like some of the things that have been on the Chalking Fitness Instagram over the last kind of like week or so. So we are kind of coming towards the end of a hand care series. I do like to do kind of like series of reviews on themes. I think it helps people know what to expect. So you know, I was like looking at Adapt Tape, amazing kind of that's a great movement that's kind of come on, and with also a kind of product at its center. But I think for the UK community, it's a lot more than just kind of like tape you use when lifting. I was really kind of reached out to kind of like Luke during that time, and it's been really nice to kind of like, you know, engage with him a little bit. But you know, I bought the tape and I've reviewed that. Equally, I've reviewed kind of gymnastic grips, so reps grips specifically. Really enjoyed kind of like challenging myself to use grips because I don't normally use them. And off the back of that, I also spoke to Jay, who runs reps, and it was great to kind of like speak to someone who's clearly passionate about kind of fitness, but equally trying to kind of create something beyond kind of just going to the gym, you know. So he started up this business, and he talks really openly in kind of a recent podcast episode. So I do recommend, you know, if you want to hear someone who has just had an idea and is putting in the hard work to kind of turn that into a business, then that's an awesome episode to listen to. So that was like, that episode came out at the beginning of the bank holiday weekend, and that was an amazing weekend actually. It was the first weekend where I'd really had a chance to kind of start to meet people in person. You know, we're getting towards, touch wood, it stays this way, like the end of lockdown. We've still got social distancing, but it was amazing to have kind of Chloe Ralph come all the way over to the Athlete Centre Didcot. You know, I was hoping to kind of go visit her, but in the end she kind of came to Didcot, which was really good of her. And I got a couple of friends from the gym in as well, and she gave us some kind of like eyes-on coaching for over an hour, which wasn't the plan. The plan was to train, but the way it is, we just ended up focusing on technique work, all of us, and like there were just weightlifting knowledge bombs being dropped kind of like for over an hour, and just really appreciative of that. Then went on to record an episode with Chloe that I'll be releasing later in September, I think, or maybe early October, where Chloe talks about her kind of what got her into fitness. I think I'm always love hearing that from people, like, you know, what's their why, you know, what keeps them going to the gym, or perhaps what got them in the gym in the first place. So really looking forward to kind of sharing that with you. But she also talks about the fact that she's an online one-to-one kind of coach, so she does a lot there, but she's also coached in gyms in the past, and talking about how she kind of approaches competition, which is something that I'm always interested in. So that was the Friday of the bank holiday. We then kind of on the Monday of the bank holiday, I was actually all the way over at CrossFit Watford, which is just over an hour from here. Got to sit down with Hewitt and talk all about Map Online. Map Online is a mobility kind of community based on Facebook, but it offers kind of like live Facebook Live, but also a catalogue of kind of like short mobility flows, typically ranging from between 10 to 30 minutes. And I've been doing those for about a month now, and I'm finding them probably the most effective and the most consistent kind of mobility aid. So there's loads out there, but I'm just finding them really relatable. There's Hat offers explanations in her videos, and I think it's really well coached through that kind of online videos. So do check that out. And again, that podcast episode where Hat talks more about her kind of her own journey into fitness again, but equally kind of like what inspires her to put kind of mobility first when it comes to moving, not only as a CrossFitter but as a human being as well. So that'll be out kind of probably early October as well. So yeah, that was a great bank holiday weekend, and then I sat down with Martin on the Monday evening. Martinthwaites is a masters athlete. Got into kind of CrossFit probably maybe 2017, I think. But if you're not sure who he is, then you can find him on Instagram at 50fitnfunctional. But also, like, if you're following Talking Fitness on Instagram, which you should be, then you'll be able to see I've kind of posted and tagged him a couple of times. So that was a really kind of personal podcast for me. It wasn't planned, but we ended up talking a lot about battle cancer events, which is something which is very personal to me, with my own experiences with losing my mum to cancer, but equally how I've then started to kind of process the grief, and battle cancer events are quite a milestone for me. I'll be sharing some of that content, I think, over the next few days, because on Thursday this week I'm actually going to go and take part in a battle cancer event on Thursday at Witt House London, which is super exciting to kind of be kind of going and see some kind of people face to face as well, and do some fitness to raise money for charity as well, and raise awareness of charities which are so vital to kind of like supporting people when they need it. So yeah, that's kind of like where we've kind of bringing it up to present day. This week, I've got a really cool episode coming out on Friday with Elaine Ennis. Elaine Ennis is the founder of the Irish Fitness Judges, which is really looking to kind of help build there already is a community of judges, not just in Ireland, but in other, like in the UK, but equally on mainland Europe as well. But Elaine is super passionate and is trying to help kind of give judges the support to build up their skill, to provide kind of consistent and reliable judging resource to competitions. I think as CrossFit, functional fitness competitions grow, there's a need for kind of competition organisers to know that they can get the judges, the quality of judges that they need reliably. And I think it's really cool what Elaine's doing, and it's great to kind of talk to her about that. And she kind of again shares like some of the kind of the passion that she's got. So watch out for that coming out on Friday. What else? Already mentioned going to Witt, which is going to be super awesome. And yeah, I'm going to be sharing a few more personal posts on Chalking Fitness around kind of like battle cancer, around why that's really important to me as an individual. So I hope you find those interesting, and if you want to support Macmillan or Battle Cancer Move Forward, then there are actually links on the bio and Instagram. So good to kind of get this first episode of a Chalking Fitness editorial on the cards up on YouTube. Do subscribe to Chalking Fitness YouTube channel. It'll really help as I kind of try to sustain this platform and offer to continue to sort of like serve the community, and equally kind of give this video a like. Great to share some thoughts on the recent content, and I'll be back soon. Take care.